Welcome to the Groceries Podcast, where we explore the real strategies that help businesses scale smarter in a world reshaped by AI. I'm your host, Josh Jackson, founder of Red Letter AI. For almost 20 years, I've lived by the idea of high tech, high touch, meaning we build systems that do the heavy lifting so people can focus on what really moves the needle. That's connection, results, and growth. Every week, we talk with leaders who care about consistency, predictability, and building a real business that lasts. So if you're a business owner trying to scale without losing your sanity, you're in the right place. Today, I'm joined by 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐦𝐴 and Jimmy Patel, founders of eStoreFactory, one of the top-rated Amazon seller providers in the world and an official Amazon SPN partner. Since 2015, they've helped sellers in the US, UK, and Australia turn the chaos of Amazon into predictable, scalable systems using their SOPs, AI-driven tools, and a global team. They've built a powerhouse serving hundreds of brands, and they're on track to triple that. 𝐻𝐻 and Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Well, tell me, I just want to start off with, you started this company because you obviously saw a problem. What was the first big problem you wanted to fix for Amazon sellers?
Yeah, I'll take that one, Jimmy. So what we found is that while the sellers and the online merchants were very aware of what they want to sell and their supply chains and what their customers really like, and so in a way they were very aware about their products. However, selling it on Amazon is an entire different skill set that is needed for that. To be able to, because it's not like you list your product and it starts to fly off the shelf. So that's the gap we were looking to fill, and that's the gap we still fill, where passionate sellers and people, sometimes they're innovators, sometimes they're sourcing from somewhere, but the one thing that's common across is they love their products, the sellers do, and we are helping them pass that message through Amazon onto the buyers.
Yeah, so I wish, I think everybody would have an Amazon business if you just how you post it and it just flies off the shelf. So when you talk to a typical seller, what is the biggest headache that keeps them busy and stops them from growing?
You want to take that, Jimmy?
Yeah, sure. So, I'll tell you about the recent experiences that I had with the client, Amazon sellers. Recently, they are all talking about the profitability. So, because of the Amazon charges that they have increased, sellers are finding to get the profitability or get at the number at the profit margin is very difficult for them. And the biggest reason is sponsored ads. And apart from that, Amazon also does so many mistakes in overcharging or damaging their products. And then Amazon sellers have to be on the support call for a long time, and yet they are not getting the enough solution out of it. So those are the two main biggest pain point for Amazon sellers these days.
Gotcha. And when you see sellers wasting time by doing things or trying to do them on their own when they should be getting help or automating it, like what would those kind of things be that you typically see?
Right. So again, the same thing. We recently were in Australia, and everybody was talking about, we don't know how to do the keyword research. We think that all these keywords that are coming out of Jungle Scout are related to our products. So they try to add everything into their sponsored ads and spending money here and there, hoping that they'll get sales, but no sales coming, or their ACOS going over the roof, and they think that Amazon is not their game, or they don't know how to play. They don't know how to do the business in Amazon. That was the biggest thing. And apart from that, they also feel like my product is the best one, is the best quality, so it will get sales as if that I'm selling in offline. So those are their misunderstandings, and sometimes they feel like to cut the cost, they can do everything. And these days AI does image editing and optimization. Then they feel like I can do myself. I don't want to spend on consultant, or I don't want to spend on hiring somebody. That's, I guess, their mistake, and they fall for that.
Gotcha. So talk to me more about eStoreFactory. We had a conversation before this, and you said that one of your things is you want to try and make things more predictable. So how do you guys take a messy, unpredictable world of Amazon and turn it into a step-by-step process that sellers can count on.
Yeah, I wish that I had a magic wand and I could just smoothen things out and tell everybody that, it's a little more trickier than that. It's a little bit like riding a bicycle. Until you've done it, it seems almost impossible. But once you know how to balance it, it's just intuitive. It's just second nature. Amazon is the same. Once you get your head around all the intricacies that Amazon brings to the table, while it has advantages such as no physical shop is required and you don't need to have people on your floor, as in your staff, but there are all these other challenges that need to be handled. So the way we try to make it easy with our customers, for our customers, is we try to set the right expectations for them. That just because it's an online business, please don't think that it doesn't have all the problems that a real business has, the bricks and mortar type of business. Mm-hmm. And that would be a mistake to think like that. So if you're going into it with the right expectations, then while I cannot make everything predictable, at least when they're facing the hurdles or when there's a challenge, they have sufficiently enough patience in them to know that if they just pull through this, or if we continue, then yeah, there is light at the end of the tunnel as far as Amazon and online selling is concerned.
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that. And setting proper expectations is always the way to go. And there's no magic bullet. There's no magic bullet for anything, but having people on your side that understand the process and can maybe simplify it or look at the gaps that you have in your business and help fill those gaps to have a smoother business to scale is invaluable. So talk to me a little bit more about eStoreFactory and the kind of clients that you work with, or if somebody's listening here and they're thinking about being an Amazon seller, or they have a kind of successful business but they want to scale higher, like who is it that you typically work with and get good results?
Let me start off by saying that who doesn't need a consultant or someone like us to help them? Okay. If you're doing this as a hobby, and there are plenty of people out there who are passionate about one particular product or something they've seen somewhere, and they feel like, I should be able to sell this online, just do it yourself. Because I'm not sure if it's really a business. And unless you're looking at it as a proper business where you're prepared to invest where necessary, you're in it for the long haul. And when I say long haul, anywhere in between 12 to 24 months, a year to 2 years is what, if you're prepared to slug it out, if I can use those terms, and I don't mean it in a struggle sort of a way, but you're prepared to stay put for that long, then hiring a consultant or hiring somebody who can help you, who knows Amazon, who can take care of that side of the complexity of the business of selling online is concerned, is a good idea. Whether it is us, and we come as a team of, so we kind of are best of both worlds, where we are small enough to individually get involved in your business and know what works and what doesn't work for your specific criteria. At the same time, we are not a fly-by-night freelancer who is there one day and not another, or has too many things on their plate. So in that sense, we feel like an online brand or an online merchant who's serious about either continuing their retail, the bricks and mortar business and bringing it online, or they are someone who's just new to the online business. Yeah, we would be the right fit for that.
Nice. So if you could you share a client success story or case study of someone you've worked with in the past, like, who is maybe stressed out by the chaos, but after they're using their system, they had, a big change?
Sure. So I'll talk about a very specific client, and that's, I guess, the favorite of, all our team members. The brand name is VITASY, and they are from US. They are into health and wellness products. They are pretty good in offline, into the Walmart stores and all the suppliers and the distributors. So they are getting good sales, and they plan to come online. They did all things that they should be doing as per the books, uploaded the products, did the content and images, but still they were struggling. They were not getting enough sales, or they feel like our offline market is doing better than the online, where they were expecting that, online is reaching to so many people. It should be doing more than offline. But the thing is, they were missing the major part of optimizing their products or doing the sponsored ads in a way that, it reaches the right people. So when they come to us, the full optimization, including the images, we redone all the images, A+ content, their storefront with the right kind of keywords, right kind of words that should connect with their customers. And then we switched over to the sponsored ads. I mean, the number is very surprising. And within a year, the overall growth of their sales is 1800%, because they were a well-known brand offline, and then they did good in Amazon as well. This case study, this success is so big that Amazon itself has posted this case study in their newsletter that, this is a big success. This is how, you should do it in Amazon.
Yeah, that's awesome. What a great story. And it's awesome that Amazon, is publishing it and promoting it for you as well. So talk to me about your guys' specific business and talking about success. So over the next year, what does success look like for you two? Do you have new services coming out, or are you just looking to make your current services even better and more efficient? So talk to me about what success looks like for you for sitting down.
Yeah. The way we see it, Josh, is the best of both worlds in terms of automated tools, automation and AI and all that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that let's create a tool that we can push out and then let people do everything themselves just through subscription model. Beyond that, we believe that a little bit of hand-holding, just making sure that the best outcomes are achieved using these automated tools. So I don't think that taking any extreme viewpoint, we're doing everything manually versus doing everything automated and just pushing it out to somewhere in between. If we can kind of have a good mix of both, where the wisdom that we have created through the years of working on Amazon with our bare hands, so to speak, and also now using all these automated tools. When you put those two together in a good amalgamation, I think would create solutions that actually work for the sellers. At the end of the day, the sellers or the online brands are the hero of the whole story. We are just there trying to facilitate through whatever works best. And I see this analogy in other things in the world as well, not just Amazon and selling, but elsewhere as well. I think this hybrid approach of trying to use the best of what is available, the best of breed, and kind of curating a solution that works for now. And then, in today's day and age, to be honest, there's no point trying to cast your mind beyond 2 or 3 years or anything further than that, because things change and they change so fast. So for now, what we are looking at over the next year or so, or maybe even 2 years, is a good mix of the automated tools and AI created solutions, which are handled by people who know Amazon, who've done things, who've done the hard yards before through manual. And that way you are getting more out of the knowledge and the wisdom that has been built because of these automation tools that are now available.
Right. Yeah. We talk about trying to create a growth plan over the next 2 to 5 years. That's what we used to do, 5 years ago. Today, with AI seems like it's changing every day. And especially in your business, I can imagine trying to implement all those changes immediately in your business. But I don't know, you got to see if they work first. You don't want to roll something out that just sounds good, but we haven't tried it, right? So that kind of leads me to my one of my last questions here is, what's the next big step for you guys in growth that you're excited about? Is there something that you're looking forward to doing, even if it feels a little challenging or
I think what we are trying to do, and Jimmy, you can add to this if you think I'm leaving anything out. I think growth that is aided by automation. Now, it seems a little bit challenging because we feel like we know what we are doing and we've done it in the past. We've achieved so much success for our sellers through the SOPs and various processes that we've put in place. But then why add automation to it just for the sake of it? That's the resistance we are facing ourselves. We are feeling like automation just for the sake of it is not the solution, or it's not the best solution for our sellers, while it may mean that we will be able to save on cost and things like those. So our challenge is to integrate technology and automation and AI in a way where it is really helping the online brands and sellers to sell more online, to reduce their cost of advertisement, to be able to predict their inventory situation, where they don't run out of inventories for their the hero products. So if we are able to do that at a scale, not just handcrafted one thing at a time, but we are able to scale it up where it's available to more and more sellers, or if it's the same seller for more of their product categories, then I think we would have achieved success.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So I just have a few more questions and then we'll finish up. And this first one, especially when I'm talking to a marketer, I like asking this because I think a lot of times there's so many numbers to look at. People get lost in the numbers, but there are things you need to pay attention to. So this question is a KPI question. So for an Amazon seller that's listening right now, what's one of the most important numbers they should be checking every day that they may forget about?
I think, in fact, the funny thing is today only I've posted my thoughts on LinkedIn about this, that people are talking and it's all about profitability, but at the same time, they miss the small numbers these days about, what got sold and what is coming back, because Amazon is making the game very difficult for sellers. So, they feel like within a month they have sold $10,000 worth of goods, or let's say $50,000 worth of goods, but they miss out on, what number of products got returned, or what is their charges, are they getting any long-term storage fees or not. So the small numbers like this on a daily basis and keeping that, accumulate that for a longer period, I think that would help them to take the right decisions.
Gotcha. Nice. This is definitely something I wouldn't think about myself. So I always like asking that by the experts. And then two final questions, and I'd like for you both to answer these, is what's the best piece of business advice that you have ever received?
Do you want to go first, Jerry?
I think you go first.
I feel that, and I'm experiencing this myself as well, that rather than waiting for the perfect solution or curating your solution to the point where you get it absolutely right, it's probably best to just go out with what you have, as long as it's like they say in software development analogy, the minimum working solution. And then go out to the market, get a feel for it. Because, when you put yourself out there and the feedback that you get, not just from outside, but if you're really invested in it in the right way, you start to get a feel of what's missing or how can you fine tune this even better, where the calibration is required. So don't wait endlessly to perfect your solution. It's a very fast moving world. Not only is it moving faster, but the pace at which it moves is also increasing, if it makes sense of what I'm saying. So not only are we, the cycles of change are getting ever so short. So even if it might be something that's a great idea, but if you sit on it trying to make it perfect, then it might just be a little too late. So just put yourself.
Right. Brajesh, where were you when I was 25? Because I am a 1 on the Enneagram. I'm a perfectionist, but I call myself a recovering perfectionist every single day.
Sure.
That I have to remind myself it doesn't have to be perfect to get started. So fantastic advice. I wish I'd have heard this a long time ago. All right, Jimmy, you're next.
Right. So I was going to say the same thing, but I've also got a business advice is that the strategy or the way that you have started business, for example, in 2025, the same strategy or the same methods would not be relevant in 2027 or 28. So I think as a business owner, you have to evolve, and at the same time, along with the time, what time says or what is the trend, you also have to change, evolve the methods of your businesses and then do that consistently. The same methods would not work for a longer period.
Gotcha. Okay. And then my last question is, if you had a chance to talk to your 15-year-old self today,
that's a really nice question. Yeah, I think I would just say to myself, don't take yourself so seriously. While we take cognizance of all sorts of things that are sometimes not even meant for us, and then we get all worked up about it. Look, I mean, we got where we are. So, whatever it is that was bothering us along the way didn't quite extinguish us, didn't kill us. We're still here. When I say extinguish, I mean not just us physically, but also in who we are, So, just don't take yourself so seriously, honestly. I mean, you look at, if I go and speak to my daughter, who's 20 years old now, and if I talk to her about older Hollywood heroes, I go tell him that, Marlon Brando, have you ever seen what he's done? And she wouldn't even know. Someone as big as that, if youngsters, if the Gen Z don't even recognize them, then there's really no need for us to take ourselves so seriously. Just go with the flow. If you've had a good day, then just revel in that.
That's awesome. All right, Jimmy, you're up.
Yeah, I have a very short answer for this. Is if you feel it right, just do it.
Very good, Nike. Just do it.
Exactly.
All right, and then my final question, Jimmy and Brajesh. Where can people find you if they want to know more about eStoreFactory and contact with you guys?
Right. So we are there in Google. If you search these days in LLMs, I keep checking ourselves that are we in LLMs or not? So either you ask question to ChatGPT, Perplexity, or you go in Google, you'll get eStoreFactory. But in Amazon SPN portal, where usually Amazon sellers goes and ask for services, we are there in top 3.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys being on today. Appreciate your time. I wish you guys the best of luck this next year. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.